What's going on, everybody? YL from RebelEars.com here again with another episode of YL's Weekly Recap. So last week, we dived into a busy week of mine. I just basically showed you guys what I had going on. Of course, it was a pretty busy week. I was in the studio, so I decided to give you guys that episode in the studio. And this week, it was not as busy because of the weather. So for anybody that lives in the South or in the Southeast region, you all know that, everybody was kind of set back from the hurricane, all right? Including Atlanta, they shut down schools and everything like that. So a couple of the events that I had set up are also shut down. But I did do some things at the beginning of the week that were really, really cool. Of course, we started out Sunday with an Atlanta Falcons game, man. Like I told you guys, I was blessed enough to receive that opportunity to be able to run sound for the tailgating events for the Atlanta Falcons. There's multiple Atlanta Falcon sponsored tailgating events that go on around the stadium. And then, of course, you have a wide range or a wide radius of other fan-based tailgating events that go on all in the street and in the parking lots and everywhere that you can imagine, right? So that was fun. So the group that I had this weekend that came and performed and hyped the fans up before the game was FLY, right? So that was pretty cool. That was dope. If you guys are not familiar with FLY, then maybe you're familiar with the song Swag Surfing, all right? If you've ever swag surfed and done that dance at a party or at the club or wherever you might have heard that song, then that is the group that created that song right here, a local group out of Atlanta. And that was a pivotal time of my childhood. We literally was in high school when that song came about. And I remember them coming to one of the team parties and performing the song before it got on a huge worldwide basis. So FLY showed up. They turned the crowd up. They were swag surfing. They had it going on. Bit of an older crowd. So, they didn't get down and really swag surf like we used to back in the day. But they know the song and they had a good time. We played the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, we did not win. But, we all have our opinions on how that game should have went, but it's all good. Shout out to the Falcons, man. It's my favorite team and has been that for a very long time. So that was fun. It was super hot because it was a night game. That's the difference in kind of like doing night games and doing day games. Doing day games, the game starts at 1. This is a pregame type of deal. So, we're not in the heat of the day. For the most part, when we're pre-gaming and turning up at the beginning of the game or before the game starts. But when it's a night game, of course, the pre-gaming and the turn-up starts in the middle of the daytime. By 2, 3 o'clock, the sun is at its highest peak in the sky and you are outside. We do have tents and stuff like that, but it was hot, man. It was really, really hot. Big difference from those earlier games on Sundays. But that was fun. I enjoyed it. The best thing about doing these games and doing these pregame, I would say, doing the pregame tailgating shows and these performances, all of the artists so far have been artists that were pivotal to my childhood, my middle school and high school years. Like the first home game we had, Franchise Boys came out, or Parlay and Pimpin' came out. Who didn't lean with it, rock with it, and we all had white tees, and you know what I mean? So that was just kind of nostalgic for me to be able to run sound for those guys and knowing that I did a good job, no feedback. They were this close to the speakers, and it still sounded good. It sounded great. And then this week, we got FLY. Like I said before, I remember them coming to a team party. Like team party as in not in the club, but like in an apartment clubhouse. We used to throw parties as teenagers. I'm pretty sure all of you guys used to do that in your generations. So I remember them coming before they were even huge, before they were a big deal. I remember them coming and performing swag surfing with us on the south side. And I remember we used to swag surf. We used to get down on the floor and swim on the surfboard and get back up and get back to surfing. So that was always a good time, but that was also very nostalgic for me. So I really, really enjoyed having them show up. And I can't wait to let y'all know who coming next week. If you in Atlanta and you remember this era, y'all gonna be shocked. So that was fun. Right after that, the very next day, I ended up doing an event at the AUC. If you're not aware of what the AUC is, that is a collective of Morehouse College, Spelman College, and Clark Atlanta College. They are all right in the same area. They're all clustered there together. They pretty much share campuses pretty much. They're like a street over from each other. So all of the students blend in and they call it the AUC. All right, so we did a big concert there. I was not a part of the show. I was only there for the setup day. It was a nighttime setup. We had a big 18-wheeler. So they have these tractor trailers that fold out into huge stages. And you'll see them at festivals. You'll see them outside where it's easier to use those types of stages than to try to build stages. And a lot of times we use those types of stages. They fold out and lift up 18-wheeler, and they have roofs on them, heavy-duty roofs, to where actually we can rig different things in the ceiling. Because sometimes you want to fly your speakers up high. You want to fly your lights up high on the stage. All right, so we had one of those. We had a nice Meyer rig. I think we had 4 boxes on each side and 2 subs. It was pretty cool. All I did was help set up, just help get things going. And I got out of there. It was quick for me. But I think they had OMB Peezy perform. You know, I'm not sure what the event was all about, but I do know it was for AUC. And we set up right in the middle of the street, right by Morehouse football field. And from what I know, it was a great event. I enjoyed it. I don't really get to work with Meyer boxes that often, but I did get to work with Meyer boxes on this particular event. I didn't get any footage because, like I said, all I did was just help set up. It was actually one of my easier gigs that I've done in a very long time. I wasn't really responsible for the ins and out. All I was doing was just helping set up the speakers. I didn't even have to fly them on the stage or anything. I didn't have to put them in the air or anything like that. So I didn't get any footage from that. But yeah, that was pretty much my week. Later on in the week, I was supposed to do a homecoming. I was supposed to run sound for a homecoming. Of course, that got pushed back due to the hurricane. But it was still a great week for me. I had 2 gigs counsel on me this week. I also did another gig, but I didn't do audio on that one. So I still had a nice work week, still made a decent income, even though the hurricane kind of knocked us out for 2 days. Went and coached some football on Saturday. You know, shout out to the Ferrari boys, my football team, man. That's how I give back to my community. They've won 3 games in a row. We are a beginner football team, so it's always lovely to see my 8U boys go out there and learn so much and obtain so much information and just give it their all, and it's paying off for them. So it was a great, great week for me. I hope you guys had a great week. Like I always say, this is just for inspiration, to let you guys know that it is possible to literally get out here and chase your dreams, get paid to do what you love to do every single day, every single week. Make a living off of your passion. Get out there and chase your dreams, no matter what it is, no matter how crazy it may seem, no matter how many people that cannot do it. Get out there and chase your dreams. No matter how many people are not doing it, no matter how many people cannot do it. No matter how crazy it seems, no matter what department or field or passion you have that you want to work in, Get out there and chase it. Turn it into a career. It is possible. Until next time, refuse to sound ordinary.